With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Backtrack side once again here for Swift Motorsports AYERS iRacingPaints Arca Menards K&N Series live tonight here at Dover International Speedway. That's right, these K&N Series drivers gonna tackle the 24-degree banking in the corners of this concrete monster here tonight. 130 laps scheduled in tonight's official race distance. How you doing? How you feeling out there, race fans? Glad you could all join us here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network. As always, Dark Side Dave in the cave bringing you all the calls from the track side here tonight. And looks like happy hour about to come to a close. Sitting on top of the speed chart's familiar face up there at the front of that scoring pylon, victory lane 2 times in a row, back-to-back race winning weekends for John McMillan Jr. He's on top of the speed charts right now. 22:38 is the quick time here in happy hour. Looks like we've got about maybe 16, 17 drivers out there on the track here tonight for race number 6 in season number 2 for Swift Motorsports AYERS iRacingPaints. And with all that being said, I tell you what, race fans, why don't we go ahead and run down some of your official business here tonight coming in to tonight's race. Your points look a little something like this. There you have it on your screen right there. Jason Branch leading the points here. Todd McGregor, Andy Starcher, Larry Poling right there as well, sitting in the 4th spot. Don Kidder, 171 points on the season so far here. Jim Thorndike, Donald Bennett with a move up through the point standings, now knocking on the door of a top 5. Kevin Burrows, Ryan Branchew, and Michael Atkins Jr. rounds out that top 10 coming into tonight's race number 6 here at Dover International Speedway. The miles 130 here tonight at the concrete monster. And I tell you what, looks like we do have a few of these drivers beginning to climb out in the cars and head out on the track on their qualifying laps. So we'll take a look out there, see what's shaking, see what's going on for all these drivers. And with all that, why don't we go ahead and throw up some of that driver information for you. John McMillan out there on his timed lap. Jim Thorndike putting in his qualifying lap. Branchew goes second. Top of the speed charts, John McMillan back at the front of the field. 22:48 for McMillan Jr. What does Senior have for it? He looks like he's climbing his way into that 75 machine down there on pit road. So look for Senior to come out here and put down a fast time. Already over half of the field putting in their time lap, and we are not even at the halfway point here tonight in the 5-minute qualifying session for tonight's miles 130 here at Dover International Speedway. John McMillan Jr. sitting top of the speed charts, almost matching that happy hour time, 22:37. Quick time for Macmillan Jr. Jim Thorndike slotting in the second spot. Todd McGregor, Andy Starcher, Donald Bennett round out your top 5 on the speed charts. Jason Branch, Greg Deitch out there on their up-to-speed laps. Look like both of those drivers are beginning to head around the raceway. Gary Wells, Roy Fernandez, Larry Poling, and Shane Bliss still yet to head out on the track for their qualifying attempts. Kevin Burrows sliding right there in the 10th spot. Jason Branch jumps up to 5th, now top of the speed charts. Branch, quick time, 22:35. That 22 machine puts himself on the top of the speed charts. Can the one of a Greg Deitch do anything with him? We'll look and keep our eye out there on the stopwatch, but coming in clutch with just about 2 minutes remaining here in this 5-minute qualifying session, Jason Branch gonna steal the pole away here for tonight's Miles 130. Deitch only going to go 12th with his first-time lap, almost 4 seconds off the pace there with his first-time lap. Not sure if he had a moment there or not, but that more than likely is going to make his second-time lap suffer as well, so doesn't look like anybody's going to have anything for the man at the top of the speed charts right now, leading your qualifying session. Quick time, 22:35 for Jason Branch. Well, not much going on the track. Looks like everybody happy with where they're going to slot in for the starting lineup here tonight. Jason Branch does look like he will secure that top spot. Nobody else jumping out on track. So, with just under 60 seconds remaining here tonight, looks like your pole position going to go to that 22 of Jason Branch with a quick time of a 22:35, 22:37 right there for Macmillan Jr. Thorndike with a 22:49. Well, race fans, that's pretty much going to do it here for qualifying, so we're going to step away from the track side for just a brief moment. We'll head on back for your national anthem here in just a moment, so don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Backtrack side, jets flying over field, ready to take to the starting grid here tonight. How you doing? How you feeling out there in TV Land. Race fans, glad you could all join us and be with us here tonight. Looks like our field consisting of 17 drivers here tonight for the Miles 130. Race number 6 and season number 2 for Swift Motorsports. AYERS iRacingPaints. Arca Menards Series, your pole sitter for tonight. The 22 of Jason Branch had a fast lap. 22, I believe it was 22:37:35 for the quick time there in qualifying. Looks like multiple drivers making their way to the starting grid here tonight. So there you see them looking back just behind the pace car. There you see more drivers beginning to make their way to the starting grid. And with all that being said, not a lot left going on for us as far as your official business here tonight. We will remind you really fastly about your championship points coming into tonight's race. There you see your pole sitter sitting on top of the championship charts here coming into race number 6. Todd McGregor, Andy Starcher looking to close that gap. Larry Poling also looking to close some distance here tonight. Can Donald Bennett continue to scratch and claw his way up through this point standing charts? We'll have to wait and see how it all goes down here tonight at the Monster Mile. Dover International Speedway gonna be one heck of a race, I can assure you that. Drivers slowly making their way to the starting grid now, as it looks like last few drivers making their way right now through tech and inspection. What a great sound that is, looking straight down pit road just over that Ford Mustang pace car. Just listen to those cars rumble. And it does indeed sound like the bells ringing in the background. You know what time it is, race fans? It's time to run down tonight's starting lineup for race number 6 here in season number 2 for the AYERS iRacingPaints Arca Menards Series, brought to you by Swift Motorsports, live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, starting inside row number 1, your pole sitter, your championship points leader, the 22 of Jason Branch. Starting just to his outside, the 15 machine of John McMillan Jr. Inside row number 2 here tonight, the 59 of Jim Thorndike. Todd McGregor gonna slot in just to his outside, and that 71 machine, Andy Starcher, right there inside row number 3. Donald Bennett gonna start in the 6th spot. 7th place for tonight's starting lineup, the 63 of Marshall Scully. Outside row number 4, the 6 of Ryan Branchew. Inside row number 5, the 20 of Chad Lancaster. Rounding out your top 10 for tonight's starting lineup, the 23 of Kevin Burrows. Inside row number 6, the 28 of Ron Schutte. The 1 of Greg Deitch gonna slot in that 12th starting spot. 13th place, Roy Fernandez. John McMillan Sr. right there in the 14th spot. Gary Wells gonna line up in the 15th position. The 69 of Larry Poling right there in 16th. And rounding out the field for tonight's starting lineup in the Miles 130 here from Dover International Speedway, Shane Bliss. Back up front with your race leader, your pole sitter, as he gets ready to fire things off for the first time here tonight. Race fans, we're ready to throw the green flag for the first time. How you doing? How you feeling? I tell you what, let's get a little bit closer to the action for the initial start of tonight's race. There you see the Ford Mustang pace car ducking off. We're set to fire things off. Field makes their way off of 4. Here we go. Green flag. There you see iRacing flag man Steve Flagger swinging the green flag around. There you see it right there. John McMillan gonna slot in that second spot pretty easily on that restart. Todd McGregor, Jim Thorndike, that's where the battle is for the third spot. Thorndike now in fourth. He's got Andy Starcher closing in on him. Donald Bennett in the 31 drops to the bottom of the speedway, makes a look to the inside, already looking to take a spot. Bennett up inside the top five now, up one spot from where he started. Looks like he's the first driver to make some moves. Ryan Branchew moving up through the field, as well as Marshall Scully. There you can see that 63 machine holding his own right behind that 6 Serve Pro machine of Ryan Branchew, slotted right there in the 6th spot. Andy Starcher in the Monster Energy Arca Menards machine. There you can see him right there in 8th. Kevin Burrows 9th. Chad Lancaster rounds out your top 10 as 3 laps already underway here tonight at Dover International Speedway. And I tell you what, it's going to be quite a fast race here tonight. Lap times very quick for these Arca machines, as we'll scroll your leaderboard up there across the top of the screen for you. You can follow along with us just like we do here in this Turn 3 Racing production booth up at the front. Battle still, I don't want to say raging on, but battle still right there. Oh, close moment as McMillan Jr. almost into that outside wall. Todd McGregor slotting in a good, solid 3rd place right now, running just about 1 second back off of McMillan Jr. Donald Bennett slowly closing the distance on McGregor right now. Thorndike not very far off of Bennett. Field at the front starting to get a little bit stretched out. We'll jump back to one of your closer battles. Back here, Andy Starcher, Kevin Burrows, Chad Lancaster, Ron Schutte battling on track. Do want to resend the starting lineup a little bit. Gary Wells, Shane Bliss, Roy Fernandez, all your race control, all your admins up there in the tower watching down at all of these AYERS iRacingPaints Arca Menards Series drivers as they make their way around the track, still clean and green. Lap number 7 now underway out of the 130 scheduled in the official race distance. Things heating up a little bit more at the front for this battle for the top spot. Your pole sitter sideways coming out of turn number 4. Big moments here at the front as these two continue to battle, and big moments just behind them, making his way through the field, storming to the front. There you can see that 31 machine piloted by Donald Bennett. Good run so far, up 3 spots from where he started tonight's race, back in the 6th position. 9 laps, and he's improved 3 spots so far here tonight, tied with John McMillan Sr. and Larry Poling for gaining the most positions so far here, but still very early, still a very long way to go here tonight. Things can definitely shake up, and things can definitely happen in a hurry. So we'll continue to look around at the different battles on the track here. There you can see your pole sitter, Branch, still continuing to lead the race. McMillan Jr. right there, still right at that 0.3 of a second off of his rear deck lid. Then the battle back to Donald Bennett and Todd Thorndike for the 3rd and 4th spots on the raceway, looking for another battle. There you can see Andy Starcher. He's kind of sitting right in the middle of Ryan Branchew and Kevin Burrows, right at the 0.4 of a second between himself and Burrows, and right at 0.8 up to Branchew. So Starcher kind of just hanging out in no man's land. More battle back here, more battles on the track back here. 3-car battle right now. Ron Schutte with John McMillan Sr. Marshall Scully slotted in just behind them. There you can see him making his way into the picture right there. Last car on screen in that 63. Machine holding down a good solid 12th spot right now. Battle at the front still has not went anywhere, still has not went away. But this right here, this 4-car battle, it's the one that's raging on. And oh, into the outside wall goes Greg Deitch. Deitch into that outside wall hard. You could hear the contact there. You see the scrapes and the black on the wall, and he's able to get it off the wall, and looks like he Maybe coming to pit road this time by. Maybe he stays out for one more lap trying to assess the damage. And does indeed looks like he's going to stay out one more lap or two here, trying to figure out what's wrong inside of that machine. Meanwhile, back at the front of the field, there you can see the battle underway between your race leader, Jason Branch, and John McMillan Jr. Going to go high above the track now with our Turn 3 drone cam. Big shout out to everybody back behind the scenes getting all the good and great camera shots here tonight at Dover International Speedway. Going to be a heck of a show. Got a lot of great cameras to get to here tonight, so we'll continue around the track as your race leader, your pole sitter, your championship leader continues to lead. John McMillan Jr. And consistency. We'll talk about consistency throughout the night. Dover International Speedway, one of those tracks you have got to be very consistent on your throttle points, very consistent on when you roll out of the gas, and consistent is what has got Jason Branch up into leading the top of the points. Has not been to victory lane so far this season, but has consistently had the pace, consistently finishing up inside the top fives, and now he enjoys a points lead coming into tonight's race number 6 in season number 2 for Swift Motorsports. AYERS iRacingPaints Arca Menards Series. There you see Greg Deitch struggling as the leaders put him yet another lap down. Deitch now being scored 2 laps down. Only car off of your lead lap. Gonna jump back to this battle back here, race fans, because it's beginning to heat up. 3-car battle now between Donald Bennett, Todd McGregor, Jim Thorndike. They're all packed up with each other. The lap machine of Deitch just in front of them. Looks like he's going to look to the bottom, now pull back up top. Where does Bennett go? Bennett goes to the bottom of the speedway. They follow him through, make their way by the lap traffic. No harm, no fouls there. Everybody clean and clear. Bennett still trying to keep that 71 of Todd McGregor at bay, but McGregor pounding that pavement right down at the bottom of the speedway. Bennett almost into the wall off of 2. Almost into that outside wall off of turn number 2, giving it all he's got, getting a foot full of throttle, and Bennett almost ended up into that outside wall. Jim Thorndike also going to make his way through, so put Thorndike up to the 4th spot. Bennett looking to recover, still inside your top 5. 4 seconds in front of this 3-car battle. You've got a battle for the race lead once again. John McMillan Jr. all over the rear deck lid, hounding your race leader right now. And I tell you what, let's see if we can't go get a little look-see off the rear end of that race leader, Jason Branch. There you can see a good look back at the hounding, the closing John McMillan Jr. Great camera work here tonight by everybody back behind the scenes and on the crew. Do appreciate all the hard work out there. And I tell you what, race fans, these drivers sure do appreciate it. If you haven't already, go ahead and throw them a thumbs up. Battle still raging right here at the front. John McMillan Jr. not able to go anywhere just yet. Still hounding your pole sitter for the race lead. And now, race fans, let's go ahead and join John McMillan Jr. for a lap around Dover International Speedway. We'll wait and give you a full-time lap here as he works his way off of turn number 4 back across the stripe. Onboard camera now with John McMillan Jr. as he makes his way out of turn number 2. There you can see how sideways Branch is. Branch kicking it out just a little bit on that corner exit. There you can see him sliding up through the center. You can hear those tires also screeching for McMillan Jr., so his tires none the better right now. Just off in the distance, that's Larry Poling. He's trying to keep himself on the lead lap right now. Poling struggling as we work our way down the backstretch on lap number 26 out of the 130 scheduled in the official race distance. We'll jump back outside the car one more time. Looks like most of the battle beginning to dissipate back through the field. And what is happening to Donald Bennett? He has fallen all the way back to the 6th spot, right where he started from here tonight, in losing further ground to Branchew and Thorndike. Todd McGregor now sits in that 3rd and final podium spot. And as we do work our way around the raceway, almost 30 laps into tonight's race, we'll go ahead and give you some of your driver details, some of the driver rundown as they run on the track here tonight. Your pole sitter, your race leader out of Virginia Beach, Virginia, the 44-year-old Jason Branch. Sitting just behind him in the 2nd position, you'll find that 15 machine of John McMillan Jr. Battling hard for that race lead, too, is the 15 machine. I tell you what, he's going to get there, and he's going to be a problem for Branch to deal with by the end of tonight's race. I can bet you that. Back in the 3rd spot, there you can see the 71 inside of his Mountain Dew throwback AYERS iRacingPaints Arca Menards machine. Todd McGregor sitting in the 3rd spot. Back in 4th, there you can see him hounding that 71 machine, the GTR Simulator 59 of Jim Thorndike. Rounding out your top 5 as they make their way around the track on lap number 31 out of 4X Racing, Toledo, Ohio's very own 18-year-old Ryan Branch. Branchew with a good solid top 5 right now, getting that 6 Serve Pro machine right where it needs to be and heading in the right direction, up 3 spots from where he started tonight's race, and looking for a little bit more if he can't grab it. Just off in front of him, not very far in front of him, 1.2 seconds. There's a battle between 3rd and 4th place, so he can be there very quickly should one of these two drivers overstep the bounds. And looking to the inside goes Thorndike. He's going to have the pass by the time they make their way off of 4 back across the stripe. Thorndike now in 3rd. Another battle on track. There you can see him battling off of turn number 4. Kevin Burrows, Ron Schutte, as well as Donald Bennett. And Bennett still sliding through the field here. Man, what a battle right here. Looks like Kevin Burrows going to take that spot away. Schutte coming to the inside. That iHeartRadio machine, he's going to make his way by John McMillan Jr., Sr., also making his way by Donald Bennett, sliding through the field now, just sitting in the last spot inside your top 10. So Bennett dropping way back now, 11 seconds behind your race leader. Back towards the front of the field, this battle continuing to rage on. 3 drivers all right there, nose to tail, but Thorndike and McGregor working the bottom, working their way around the lap machine of Larry Poling. They're going to clear with no issues at all. And Thorndike looking to set sail after capturing that 3rd spot, has already opened up a 3/10 second advantage over McGregor, but McGregor not going anywhere, not giving up just yet, and sideways off of 2. You could catch off in the distance, right off in the background. Ryan Branchew sideways coming off of turn 2. Look at that, sideways again for McGregor. Oh my goodness, Branchew. This man, I'm telling you what, he is sideways each and every corner exit. We'll take a look at him here. And wouldn't you know, right when we want him to do it, that's right when he cleans up the act just a little bit. No, not sideways coming off the corner exits that time by. So we'll continue through the field, continue to try to bring you some great racing battles on track. Right here you have Kevin Burrows and Ron Schutte in that iHeartRadio AYERS iRacingPaints Arca Menards Series machine. He is right there hounding Burrows. That's going to be a top 7 spot. If he can make his way by Burrows, that'll put Schutte up into that 7th position. Battle at the front of the field still going on, but not any closer than what it has been. Jason Branch continues to lead John McMillan Jr. If that gets any closer, we'll bring ourselves right up there to that battle. This is the closest battle on the raceway still going on. Actually, we'll jump back here to this little battle. Chad Lancaster, Marshall Scully battling for the 11th and 12th spot on track, so there's small battles all over. Ron Schutte, Kevin Burrows mixing it up side by side down the back stretch. Advantage goes to Burrows going into turn 3. Schutte going to give way just a little bit. Now that run at the bottom begins to work for Schutte. Look for him to have a big launch down this front stretch. It's there, but not able to do anything with it this time by Schutte. Going to stay in that 8th spot. Oh, big time loose right there for that 23. That could have spelled trouble. That opened up the door once again for Schutte to look to the inside. He's going to pull dead even. Oh, hard impact. Pancaking the right side of that 23 machine. Burrows hard into that outside. Safer barrier. Doesn't look like it was too bad, but you can see a little bit of that sheet metal pushed in around the tire, and that can be very troublesome. Blowing a tire here at Dover International Speedway. There you see also a little bit of damage just over that right front. Let's see if we can't take a look at it at all. Looks like the hood not crinkled up at all. Great on board. Camera shot here with the 23 of Burrows. Will jump back outside the car as he tries to run back down. John McMillan Jr. and Ron Schutte up there in the 7th spot. Andy Starcher running in 6th. Ryan Branchew still rounds out your top 5. Todd McGregor, Jim Thorndike, John McMillan Jr. Then your race leader, Jason Branch, continuing to dominate here tonight. I say dominate. Hasn't been able to walk away from McMillan Jr., but has been able to lead the entire race here tonight so far. We have been clean and green since the drop of the green flag. All 45 laps run under green flag conditions, and all 45 have been led by that 22. Your pole sitter here tonight, Jason Branch. Drivers to pit road, Jim Thorndike, Ryan Branchew. They break away for pit road. Short stop, a short pit, short strategy underway for those 3 drivers, Thorndike, Branchew, and Ron Schutte. Looks like Donald Bennett, he's going to come to pit road as well. 2 drivers already scored off of the raceway and back behind the pit wall. That's Marshall Scully and Greg Deitch. And it looks like Branch having a little bit of connection issues, so we'll jump back here right with that 15 of John McMillan Jr. as he continues to try to hound your race leader into making a mistake, but I don't think he's going to do anything with him as we go on board with a great nose camera shot here from John McMillan Jr. looking to find a way around this 22 of Branch. Branch has been very tough to pass, and it almost looks as if he's maybe holding up this 15 just a little bit. He's all over him, just can't complete the pass, just can't quite get it done, but he does seem to be just a tick faster on the speedway as they run right now. Drivers rejoining the raceway now, coming to pit road this time by, and Branch gonna come to pit road too. Both of these drivers sideways coming to pit road. Ooh, on the brakes hard, and they both get it locked up and slowed down. That was an amazing job onto pit road. And it looks like Andy Starcher may have had some trouble as he makes his way onto pit road. Larry Poling out there still on the track. That 69 Quaker Steak. AYERS iRacingPaints Arca Menards machine continues to run on the raceway. Looks like he very well may stay out and try to lead a lap here. Looks like, yes, indeed, going to stay out on the track. He'll come around. He'll have to come around one more time to get that one lap led, as he is just now taken. Oh, and caution flag comes out with Larry Poling taking the race lead. Oh, and there you see Greg Deitch turned around into that outside wall. We'll take a look back here, see how it all went down. Oh, hard impact with Branchew. Oh my goodness, one more look. Oh, and there you see Deitch already sideways in impact with that 6 of Ryan Branchew, and that has caught these drivers out. We'll take one more look at it from a little further high above. Ah, and there you see it. Deitch just loose. Branchew trying to come through in contact. Hard impact for Branchew. Hard impact for Deitch as well. And that is a tough lick, hard lick for both of those drivers. And what a lucky break here. What a lucky break for this man on screen. Larry Poling got himself back on the lead lap and inherited the race lead. All. And not quite sure what I just did. Oh, I do apologize, race fans. Hit the wrong button there. Had everything a little bit amiss. Larry Poling did lead multiple laps there before coming to pit road as he took the lead. The caution flag flew while drivers were on pit road trying to make their way off of pit road. It couldn't have flew at a better time for that 69 of Larry Poling, and that is going to give him quite a bit of track position as well, and that is going to catch a few drivers out. It's going to catch a few of these drivers one lap down, so timing a bit of a miss for a few of the drivers out there on track. There you can see scrolling across the top of your screen, only 7 drivers remain on the lead lap after the caution flag flew during our round of green flag pit stops here tonight. And man, what a strategy, what a lucky move. I want to say what a lucky move, but it's never luck unless it works. So is it not just maybe a good call? Either way you have it, either way you slice it. Great call from the top of the pit box there for Larry Poling and his 69 machine. Not only did it get him back on the lead lap, but also has him up inside your top 5 for this restart. It is going to be quite a run to the end here. We started tonight's race with a long green flag run. Over 50 laps here tonight before we slowed down for the first time here tonight under caution for the first time here at Dover International Speedway. And if you haven't already, race fans, throw these drivers a thumbs up, click like, click subscribe, smash the bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, Darkside, Dave in the Cave, or anybody else back at the headquarters. We do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by. And as said, if you haven't already, throw these AYERS iRacingPaints Arca Menards Series drivers a thumbs up, smash the likes, let them know you appreciate all the great action they're giving for you here tonight at Dover International Speedway in the Miles 130. That's right, the concrete monster here at Dover. Front of the field for the restart doesn't look much different from what it did for the start of your race here tonight. Your front row's still going to look the same. Jason Branch electing to take that outside lane here. Once again, that's going to force John McMillan Jr. to the inside on this restart. Todd McGregor, Andy Starcher make up row number 2. Row number 3, Jim Thorndike and Larry Poling. So as said, Poling making a good strategy call there. Played out right to his hand. Pace car lights are off. We are set to go back green flag racing once again here from Dover International Speedway in Dover, Delaware. Working their way off of that 24-degree banking onto the front stretch, waiting for the green flag to fly, waiting for the gas. Green flag in the air as the 15 did not get a good start at all, man. Jason Branch shot out of a cannon. Andy Starcher, oh, big contact between Starcher and Thorndike. That gets Starcher all sorts out of shape. That's going to give Todd McGregor and John McMillan a breather for just a moment. Now 2-3 wide, right back behind them. Drivers mixing it up. There you see Larry Poling falling through the field. Lap machines making their way by on the inside. Poling going to let all of those drivers through. Donald Bennett sitting right there in the 8th spot, being scored. The first car a 1 lap down. Bennett trying to make his way back up through the field and back up onto your lead lap. Fast, frantic, furious first few laps here on the restart. Lap number 57 now underway out of the 130 scheduled into tonight's official race distance here for Swift Motorsports AYERS iRacingPaints Arca Menards Series. Battle going on right here at the front. Battle going on between these two drivers. Andy Starcher has got a rear view mirror full of Jim Thorndike. Thorndike goes up the track trying to make the pass. Not going to be there. Not going to get it just yet. He now drops to the bottom, looks to the inside in turn 3. Gonna have the spot as Starcher falls to Thorndike. There's Donald Bennett waiting in the wings. Not a battle for position, but a battle for some space on the track. That would put Bennett a little closer to working his way back on the lead lap the good old-fashioned way, and Bennett has got to be worried about it because we've seen a long green flag run the first time out before our first caution flag flew. Bennett very quick here on this restart. Back to the front, battle still going on between your race leader, Jason Branch, and John McMillan Jr. There you see that 22 Serve Pro machine still having an occasional connection issue. John McMillan Jr. sitting right there in the 2nd spot. Todd McGregor coming up through the field. McGregor started in the 4th spot on the restart, now up to 3rd. Looking for more, just a half a second back from McMillan Jr., who is still hounding that 22, but has not been able to take that spot away. Nobody's been able to take over the top spot on the race track. Through green flag pit cycle, that is the only time anybody else has led any laps here tonight. And if he can lead another 10 laps or so, nobody will be able to take the most laps led award away from that man right there, featured on your screen, the 22 of Jason Branch. High above the track one more time, trying to give you a bird's eye view of this battle going on for the top spot. There you can see John McMillan Jr. closing in to within a car length, now a half of a car right there on the bumper. That 22, by the time they make their way into the corner, he is all over him, but just not able to do much with them right now. Working their way down the back stretch once again, right there behind that 22, and once again loses a little bit of ground through Ford. There you see that 1 car length difference again for your race leader, the 71 of Todd McGregor. Liking what he's seen because he has been able to close over the past few laps, and he is going to be able to stick his nose right there in this battle at the front of the field, battle for the top spot here tonight. Working their way off of turn number 4 back across the stripe, your top 3 all within just a handful of tenths of each other. Looks like about 8 tenths separates your top 3 drivers on the track here tonight. There you can see timing and scoring off over to the left-hand side as we continue to watch this battle from high above with your Turn 3 drone cam. Back track side though, and shortly we'll jump down there in just a brief moment, see if we can't get you some closer sights and sounds. As a matter of fact, why don't we go ahead and run with some of that now? Why don't we step down trackside for just a brief moment? You know what time it is, race fans. You love it, I love it. Let's go ahead and run a little bit of Turn It Up. Little bit of taste, little bit of action from the track up close and personal right there in your living room, coming across your screen right now, man. Highlighted on screen, that 59 of Jim Thorndike just inside your top 5, knocking on a podium spot. He's got to gain about 2 seconds to get to the back end of Todd McGregor in that 71 machine, slotted in that 3rd and final podium spot. But keep in mind, race fans, these drivers are going to have to come to pit road. Last time they were on pit road right around lap number 49, lap number 50. So these drivers are going to have to come back down to pit road somewhere right around that 100 lap mark. And they'll be set to run to the end. And more trouble for Greg Deitch into that outside wall once again. Now hugging that bottom lane. It looks like he's going to come to pit road this time by, and still battles going on track. There you can see that 63 of Michael Scully. He's got Chad Lancaster right behind him in the 20. Lancaster hounding him for that 11th spot. They may be a lap down, but don't tell them, because they are battling like it is for the race lead. For a shot at making their way inside the top 10, just off in front of them. There you seen Todd McGregor, Jim Thorndike just off in the distance. There you see all those drivers making their way now off of turn 4. That was Donald Bennett, John McMillan Jr. also back there trying to make their way up through the field. The battle at the front has went away. This man right here has now secured the most laps led award here tonight. He has secured the pole position here tonight. Came into tonight's race leading the point standings, and he looks to increase that 18-point advantage coming into tonight over, I believe that is over Todd McGregor, as McGregor is running in the third spot, but Branch gonna edge him out quite drastically here tonight with the bonus points for the most laps led, as well as your AYERS iRacing Paints pole award. Heck of a job, heck of a shout out, heck of a job, heck of a job well done by that 22 and his entire crew. Branch fast since they unloaded here tonight. No, the 15 catches the wall a little bit on the backstretch. The wall, Miles reaches out, grabs him, pulls him in just for a moment, lets him go. Maybe just a little bit of reminder of who's boss around this concrete monster mile here in Dover, Delaware. Dover International Speedway, operated and owned by Dover MotorSports. Big time shout out for all they have done for the sport here in Dover, bringing some great NASCAR action to the fans up there around that little Chesapeake Bay area. Been doing so since 1969, when this track opened up to the public, and NASCAR until this recent year has visited the track 2 times a year. This time in 2021, only going to visit the track 1 time, but we will see all 3 of the NASCAR series here this year. Maybe drivers getting a little weary of battling with Miles all the time. He has been known to eat up drivers and spit them out like candy. We'll jump back now to a battle raging on for the 4th and 5th spot. There you can see Jim Thorndike in that GTR Simulator 59, trying to keep the 4th spot away from the 19 of Andy Starcher. Starcher all over him. Way up the track goes Thorndike. That's going to give Starcher the gap that he needed, give him just enough to make that little bit of a slide job work there. Thorndike looked to try to see if he couldn't make a crossover move work, but not going to be able to happen, not going to work out this time. By put Thorndike back to 5th. Continuing around the track here tonight under green flag conditions. We have been green since the drop of the restart. Only 1 caution flag so far here tonight, so a heck of a job being done by all the drivers on track here tonight in the AYERS iRacing Paints Arca Menards series. The 19 making his way around the track, trying to close some distance. He's got 3.2 seconds to make up to get to the back end of Todd McGregor, and you got to wonder if any of these drivers may choose to short pit here, may choose to try to come and get those fresh tires a little bit sooner. Looks like lap times last time by. We'll look at it this time as Andy Starcher crosses the line. That last time by, 24:31 for Starcher. His quick time, a 23:08. So well over the 1.5 second drop off already on these tires. So I gotta wonder, is anybody willing to risk coming to pit road, getting the tires early, and trying to gain the spots that way on the raceway? It would be an option open up to Todd McGregor. Andy Starcher, Jim Thorndike might possibly be able to make something work, may be able to leapfrog your race leader, your top 2 as they run on track. Jason Branch now enjoys a 2.9 second race advantage, so you're gonna have to do something. If you're this man right here on screen, John McMillan Jr., you've been to victory lane the past 2 races here, the past 2 race nights here in Swift Motorsports AYERS iRacing Paints Arca Menards series. You're gonna have to do something different. You're gonna have to find a way to make up that time. You can't pit with the race leader. You're gonna have to come to pit road here very shortly to try to make a jump, to try to make that leapfrog, to try to make something work Todd McGregor now closing in that 71 machine. There you can see that Mountain Dew throwback 71 making his way down the backstretch now, hunting that 15 McGregor fast right now. Looks like he's able to keep the bottom of the raceway a little bit better than Macmillan Jr. And heck yeah, gonna check out some of the chat over there. Big shout out to you there, Napa Know-How. Awesome job over there getting things done on the NASCAR Heat program. I tell you what, man, you need to go ahead and jump over here to iRacing. I promise you, it will be much, much better. The racing here just so much more realistic. Not gonna knock the console, but you know, there is a reason why they call iRacing.com the world's #1 racing simulator. Back to the battle on the track, though. John McMillan Jr., he continues to try to keep that second spot away from Todd McGregor, who has been all over him. Now 3/10 back, he was right there knocking on the door, but had a moment off of the a big-time moment once again, working his way off of turn number 4. There you see Andy Starcher also having a little bit of trouble off of turn 4, but look at Starcher gaining ground, slowly reeling these drivers in as they continue to battle, continue to lay down the rubber, drifting out of turn number 2 lap after lap, and that is going to put some heavy wear on those right rear tires. Gonna have to watch that a little bit closer as these drivers set themselves up to make their final pit stop of the night, knocking on the door of just 35 laps remaining here tonight in the miles 130 here from Dover International Speedway. There you can see the battle slowly going away now. Looks like John McMillan Jr. has found another gear as those green flag pit stops indeed have begun. Larry Poling brings his 69 to pit road. Donald Bennett going to bring his 31 machine to pit road as well. Both of those drivers being scored off the lead lap. Donald Bennett going to fall multiple laps down underneath this green flag pit stop. Larry Poling now being scored 2 laps down as well, as we close the distance in on the final few laps of the racing here tonight from Dover International Speedway. Looks like a little bit of house cleaning to be done. We started tonight's race with 14 drivers on the starting grid. We have still got, well, it's kind of hard with people on pit road. We've still got 12 drivers out there on the speedway. Only 6 remaining on your lead lap. And that's going to change just a little bit as we continue this long stretch of green flag pit stops. There you see Todd McGregor, first driver inside your top 3 to hit pit road. When will this man at the front? When will Jason Branch bring that 22 down pit road? Branch still continuing to have some of those connection issues. Ryan Branchew looks like he's going to be bringing his machine back onto the track after an extended stay down there on pit road, fixing that machine. Branchew going to soldier on and try to get anything and everything that he may possibly be able to do. Jim Thorndike going to come to pit road, as well as Kevin Burrows. John McMillan Sr. makes his way off of pit road. Also making his way back off of pit road after his last and final stop, Todd McGregor in the 71 now rejoins the raceway. Branch and McMillan Jr. going to hit pit road. Andy Starcher going to follow through as well. Ron Schutte to pit road. Pit road is a busy place. We'll jump back out with this man right here, the first driver to hit pit road inside of your top 5. Will it be soon enough? Greg Deitch has had some big-time struggles here tonight into the outside wall yet again, and slow back down onto pit road for the 3rd time here tonight. Deitch just struggling, and Miles has dominated that one car here tonight. But what's going to happen right here with this 71? He came to pit road just, I believe, 2 to 3 laps before your top running drivers. He makes his way off of turn number 4, going to cross the stripe now. Jason Branch making his way back and onto the track now, onto the backstretch. Big head of steam, though, for McGregor. He may be able to run down Jason Branch. Oh, and not going to get there. McGregor going to take over that race lead now. Branch falling back behind. Big time move, and did it work? And Branch back onto pit road. Jason Branch, after dominating tonight's race, looks like he may have been popped by those pit road police. Branch back to pit road. There you see the long crawl down pit road by Jason Branch, and that hurts. After a dominating performance here tonight, Jason Branch gets caught by the pit road police and has to come back down, and that is going to drop him way through the speed charts here tonight. Big time mistake by Branch. Todd McGregor takes over the race lead, but into the outside wall right there. Gotta be careful with that. John McMillan Jr. now 4.5, just upwards of 4.5 seconds behind your race leader, Todd McGregor. And remember, I said, who's going to do something different? You've got to try something different. That's exactly what that 71 of Todd McGregor did. And look at how it has paid off, but he does have a very fast, hard-charging 15 of John McMillan Jr. making his way up to him, trying to track him down. There you see him coming across the line and now into turn number 1, about 3.5 seconds, so already making up 1 second that last time by. 0.3 of a second faster that time by across the stripe for your second place driver, John McMillan Jr., as he tries to run down your new race leader in the Mountain Dew Throwback 71, AYERS iRacingPaints, Arca Menards, the series machine. Todd McGregor looking clean at the front. Once again, off of turn number 4, back across the stripe, just 21 laps now remaining for your race leader, and he still enjoys a 2.5 second race advantage, but clicking off of those times, clicking off that gap, getting closer and closer each and every lap. John McMillan Jr., he is on a tear right now, and as we have finally made our way through all of the green flag pit stops, let's run down your top 5 as they run on the speedway. Man at the front of the field, man with the oldest tires on track, but in control of the race, that's 71 of Todd McGregor. There you can see some information right there. Heck of a job so far out there tonight by McGregor. The driver sitting in that second spot, there you can see him. He has been in second pretty much the entire race here tonight from Dover International Speedway. John McMillan Jr. continues to keep that second spot and continues to try to run down your race leader. Jim Thorndike in the 59 GTR Simulator machine sitting right there in that third spot. Thorndike started in third and has run inside your top 5 pretty much the entire night. Now back to the 4th place runner from Gasaway, West Virginia at a Hyperdrive Motorsports, the 46-year-old Andy Starcher, piloting that 19 machine up inside of the top 5, running in the 4th spot. driver back in the 5th position. Last driver on the lead lap. Driver inside of that 23 machine, Kevin Burrows. And while we've got ourselves a little bit of time, why don't we run a little further through the field? Back here running in the 6th position, 1 lap down the 69 Quaker State machine of Larry Poling. 7th spot on the track out of Keystone's Motorsports, Kutztown, PA's very own Donald Bennett, sponsored by Turn 3 Racing Network, Bromley Design and Draft Top. The 38-year-old Bennett trying to scratch and claw his way up through the point standings. Good solid run here tonight for Bennett. Back in the 8th position, the 63 of Marshall Scully, Jason Branch, your dominating car of the evening from Virginia Beach, Virginia. The 44-year-old has had some late race trouble in the 22, dropped through the timing and scoring all the way back now in the 9th spot, 3 laps down from your race leader. Rounding out your top 10 here tonight from New Smyrna Beach, Florida, sponsored by Bear Real Estate, as well as Gross Incorporated, Land and Sea Studios, Schaefer's Racing. That 20 of Chad Lancaster, the 31-year-old, has had some troubles, has had some issues here tonight, but still running in the top 10. That's going to do it for your top 10 rundown as we have reached just 13 laps to go at the front. Here it is, battle for the race lead. Can Macmillan Jr. get the job done and take away a triple threat? 3 race winning weekends in a row for that 15 machine if he can pilot it to victory lane here tonight at Dover International Speedway. And you gotta think Todd McGregor is going to be a driver looking in that rear view mirror. He's gonna force that 15 to take the high side. How long will Macmillan Jr. sit right there in that outside lane? How long before he begins to try to peek a nose onto the inside? We'll take a look a little bit different as they head right at you, right into your living room, down the front stretch and into turn number 1. Side-by-side battle for the race lead. McGregor on the bottom, McMillan Jr. at the top. Advantage going to go to McGregor for the time being. They continue to drag race down the backstretch now through the center of 3 and 4. Off of turn 4, advantage going to go to your race leader, the 71 of McGregor. Sideways off of 4 for McGregor. Oh my goodness, this is quite a battle right here at the front of this field. Battling still between your top 2 drivers, back and forth. Nobody claiming the top spot just yet. McGregor continues to lead, but he has got a very hungry, very fast 15 of John McMillan Jr. right there just to his outside. 2 lap fresher tires for that 15 machine. Not sure that 2 laps is going to play that big of a difference, but it very well may make just enough difference. Oh man, this is going to get good at the end, I'm telling you. Under a 1/10 of a second separate your top 2 drivers. 7 laps remaining as they make their way into turns number 3 and 4, almost making contact there. And here comes the fast Jason Branch. He's trying to get at least one of his 3 laps back the good old-fashioned hard way. He looks to the inside of that 15 machine, and up the hill goes Macmillan Jr. What will your race leader do? McGregor goes to the bottom. Big run there with the 22 as well. Branch all over your race leader. Branch pulls even and hard into the outside wall, scraping down the front stretch. He's going to lose a ton of momentum after that one, pushing hard to get himself off of being 3 laps down, trying to get his way back onto the lead lap somehow with a Hail Mary. Not working out, not working for him. Now your race leaders continue that battle for the top spot. The 71 of Todd McGregor makes his way off of turn number 4 back across the stripe. 2 car lengths separate your top 2. Not much of battles to talk about on the speed. Oh my goodness, that was close to contact. McMillan Jr. goes way up the track. He's going to have a ton of ground to make up now. I say a ton, but it's only a 0.3 of a second race advantage for Todd McGregor, making his way through turns 1 and 2, now back down the backstretch. This is going to be a battle to the final flag, and very close once again, almost into that left front of John McMillan Jr. Todd McGregor sees popsicle sticks. 2 laps remaining here from Dover International Speedway in the miles 130 for Swift Motorsports Ayers iRacingPaints Arca Menards Series here, race number 6. Here in season number 2 for Swift Motorsports, digging on the bottom, hugging that asphalt. That's right, there's asphalt, there's pavement down there on the inside this track. Concrete monster, final lap. White flag in the air through 1 and 2 for the final time. Race leader Todd McGregor has McMillan Jr. all over him, looking to the outside into 3. Not going to get there, not going to get to the bumper. There's not going to be a bump and run. Checkered flag in the air. Checkered flag in the hands of your race winner. New race winner for the first time so far this season. Todd McGregor puts that 71 machine up there in victory lane. Heck of a job. Whoo, what a finish. My goodness, what a finish. What a run to the end for this man right here on screen. After starting back in the 4th spot, gaining 3 positions here tonight and walking away with that Dover Trophy. Very own Miles Monster to take home for the 71 of Todd McGregor, walking away with the race win here tonight in the miles 130. And as your race winner enjoys a little bit of post-race celebrations, we're going to step away from the track for a brief commercial break. We'll be back with all your post-race interviews. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. back trackside at the conclusion of tonight's Miles 130 here from Dover International Speedway. And oh my goodness, what a race we had here tonight. This 1 mile. The Speedway put on one heck of a show all night long. Just wanted to give you a little bit of your track information real quick before we head off into our post-race interviews. Let's see if we can't catch in a quick word or two with the driver that walked away in the third spot here tonight inside that Monster Energy number 19 machine. Andy Starchards, Dave in the booth, you got a copy?
Sure do, Dave.
Hey, man, how you doing? How you feeling after a good, solid podium finish here tonight?
Feeling pretty good. We've been chasing the podium so far all season, just been coming up short, but was able to make it happen tonight.
Now, walk us through the difference in racing out there on a high bank concrete track as opposed to, let's say, Atlanta or Texas, a freshly paved track. How much different is racing on the concrete?
It felt really good tonight to me. You know, I like the low line, so I ran the low line most of the time. And I noticed most everybody else was running the middle lane, but you know, I just stuck with trying to make the low lane work for me. And the first run I did burn my tires up pretty good. Second run wasn't quite as bad, so was able to. I got lucky there. One of the guys made a mistake on pit road and didn't give himself enough fuel. So I don't know if I'd have been able to, you know, get past him before the end of the race or not. But sometimes it takes a little bit of luck.
Indeed, sometimes luck is your best friend. And, you know, looking through the points charts and things of that nature, you came into tonight third in the points, a good solid points day. One of those drivers ahead of you in the points, as you mentioned, had a little bit of trouble, so you're going to gain some ground. But more importantly, how do you feel as we get ready to go to, I believe, one of the most crapshoot of a racetracks, if there ever was one labeled that. We get ready to head to the home of racing here, the Great American Race at Daytona International Super Speedway next week. What's your thoughts as we get ready to go restrictor plate racing?
Can we do Dover again instead? I don't care for some people love the restrictor plate racing or whatever. And those tracks have always been bad to me. You know, it's, if you get a bunch of guys, well, you either got to stay in it and right there next to people, on top of people the whole time. If you don't, you fall off and then you end up getting lapped. So it's, you know, it's on it all night long, the whole race, from the drop of the green flag all the way to the drop of the checkered flag. And I don't care for that. I don't care for that kind of racing. But you know, we'll get some practice in before then, and hopefully have a decent finish. Top 5 would be good.
All right. Well, Andy, again, congratulations on a good, solid podium run here tonight, walking away from Dover International Speedway with a third place. So before we let you go, you want to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on the side of that monster machine?
I'd just like to thank Swift Motorsports for the league. They've got a good thing going here, and it's only going to get better. It's only going to grow. So Justin Gann has it going on, and I like it here, as well as thanking you guys there, Turn 3 Racing. Appreciate that as well. You guys do a great job in the booth, and it's nice to have that broadcasted, so you know, family members, friends, and things like that can watch what we do out here.
All right, Andy. Well, we do appreciate the kind words, and we'll look forward to catching up with you, maybe if things work out, in another podium interview next week at Daytona.
We'll see. Thanks.
There you go. That was your final words from the driver walking away in the third spot here tonight. driver inside of that 19 Monster Energy machine. AYERS iRacing Paints, Arca Menards, getting it done here tonight, and that's going to bring us to our second place finisher here tonight. Just coming up short from that third race win in a row, John McMillan Jr. It's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear, Dave.
Hey, my man, coming up just short from making that three-peat. How tough was it there to try to get by McGregor at the end?
It was tough. By the time I caught him, I think I used up some of my stuff, and I knew when I caught him, he was holding the bottom line, which I don't blame him. It's hard to pass here, and I just tried as hard as I could on the outside, but it was definitely hard to make it stick.
Well, as I spoke with our third place finisher, Andy Starcher, I'm going to ask you the same kind of question. We go to one of the toss-up races next week. We head to Daytona International Superspeedway. What's your thoughts going from a tight, close-quartered racing concrete surface like this to the big, open restrictor plate racing at Daytona?
I think I'm just going to go into that race and try and play it safe, maybe ride out at the back there for a bit and see if I can avoid any kind of mishaps, and hopefully I'm there at the end.
Well, John, I know you just recently started to come into the K&N series here, and you walked away in victory lane 2 times so far. Another great, solid podium finish for you this week. That's going to do you some more justice as far as those championship points are concerned. What are you looking at towards the rest of the season, looking past Daytona? Are you looking to try to see if you can claw and scratch your way up and maybe possibly snatch a championship here in the Arca Menards series?
That's the plan for the regular season here. I'm just going to try and make top 12 and then hopefully get into the chase and just keep picking the races off and hopefully have a run there for the Phoenix race.
All right. Well, John, again, congratulations on another solid podium night here in Swift Motorsports, walking away with a second place here from Dover International Speedway. So before we let you go, you want to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on the side of that 15?
I'd like to thank my family and my father, and I'll thank you too, Dave, for great broadcasting, and always good to hear you.
Well, it's always good to hear you and have you, and we do appreciate those kind words there, John, and we'll look forward to possibly catching up with you next week.
Sounds good. I look forward to it.
There you have it. Final few words. Sounds like a little disappointment underneath that tone of voice there for John McMillan Jr. Not able to make it a three-peat. Walking away just short, but was right there at the end of tonight's race. And now that will bring us to the man walking away in victory lane for the first time here this season. Heck of a job, my man. You got a copy, Todd McGregor?
Yes, sir. Right here.
Hey, man. Walking away in victory lane for the first time. Took you 6 races to get here. But now that you're finally here, how many more times do you think you can knock down that door?
With the competition we have in this league, it's probably going to be it'll be a challenge. But I can assure you it'll be every lap as best as I can do, hard as I can run.
Well, Todd, I asked your fellow competitors that finished on the podium, so I'm going to ask you the same question. How do you prepare yourself to move to Daytona International Superspeedway after coming to such a close-quartered, tight track here, the 1-mile concrete monster that Dover is? How do you prepare yourself to get ready to go restrictor plate racing in a race that is pretty much a toss-up for the vast majority of the field?
Well, it'll be just like probably the big boys. This track don't scare me. That one does. It's given to you, and be cautious, and you just come out with what you get. Really, it's a wild card.
Well, Todd, my man, again, congratulations, man. A heck of a way to knock down the door at a very tough track, making your way into the winner's column down there in victory lane here from Dover International Superspeedway, or not Superspeedway, that's next week. It's just the regular speedway. Anyways, heck of a job, my man. Before we let you go and celebrate the night away, you want to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on the side of that Mountain Dew 71?
I just really, you guys, you put on a heck of a show. Jason and John are great competitors, and actually everybody on here is just really good competitors. So I appreciate the competitive nature of the guys here, plus the gestures of just clean racing. You guys, you know what it takes to put this broadcast on, and the guys that put this league together. It's just very appreciative on my part.
Well, Todd, again, congratulations, and we won't hold you any longer. You can go over and pick up that Monster Mile replica trophy because you, my man, have walked away with the race win. Congratulations, heck of a job. And we'll look forward to catching up with you next week and a little more throughout the season.
Okay, guys, thank you so much. I'll see you next week.
There you go. There you have it. Final few words from the man walking away at the front of the field here tonight, walking away with the race win. First time in the winners column this season for the driver inside of that Mountain Dew Throwback 71 AYERS iRacingPaints Arca Menards Series machine. Heck of a job, big time accomplishment there, knocking the door down, able to get himself into victory lane. And looks like, yep, they're pushing the buttons in the background, starting the music a little bit early on me here tonight. So looks like they're ready to run down your unofficial race results for tonight's AYERS iRacingPaints race number 6, season number 2 here in Swift Motorsports. The miles 130 in the books. Walking away with the race win, the driver of that Mountain Dew Throwback 71 machine, Todd McGregor. Finishing 15th here tonight, John Mick finishing in the second spot. The 15 of John McMillan Jr. not able to capture that three-peat, but still a good solid podium finish. Rounding out your top 3 in a solid run here tonight from Dover International Speedway, the 19 of Andy Starcher. Kevin Burrows going to slot in the 4th spot. Jim Thorndike will round out your top 5. The 69 of Larry Poling going to slot home in the 6th position. 31 of Donald Bennett going to finish in 7th. Marshall Scully pilots his 63 machine home to the 8th spot. 9th place goes to your pole sitter. Dominating car here tonight, having some trouble on pit road, and that's going to relegate that 22 of Jason Branch back to the 9th position. Also finishing 3 laps down here tonight from Gross Inc. Racing, the 20 of Chad Lancaster. John McMillan Sr. gonna bring his machine home in the 11th spot. Ron Schutte gonna finish in 12th. Greg Deitch had some trouble all race long. Miles beat and battered him all night here in the miles of 130. Deitch gonna walk away in 13th. The 6 of Ryan Branchew also caught up in some racing incidents here tonight. Gonna finish 57 laps off of your race leader. Branchew going to finish in the 14th spot here tonight. Big tip of the cap and shout out to all the race control and admins over there in the administration tower. Roy Fernandez, Gary Wells, and Shane Bliss up there watching over the race, keeping these drivers straight all night long. Whew. Another good one in the books. If you haven't already, race fans, throw these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, and smash the bell over there on the right-hand side to get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, Darkside Dave in the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters. We do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by, whether you're just casually stopping through or you're the dedicated fan, friend, or family. We appreciate each and every time you stop by. So if you haven't already, throw these drivers a thumbs up. And man, oh man, with all that being said, doesn't look like there is much left to do for us. So as race number 6 comes to a close, we'll look forward to catching you back here tomorrow night at Dover International Speedway for round number 6 in the Swift Motorsports Truck Performance Series. We should have another barn burner on our hands tomorrow night, so keep your channel tuned in. With all that being said, race fans, stay safe, stay loved. Until next time, we'll see you in turn 3.